One late summer morning, Sandy and I were sitting at the Bojangles in Jasper, Georgia, having our cup of coffee and a country ham biscuit. She was looking out the window at the flower bed, and then she said, "Look, look." I turned and looked, and there was a little critter, just tiny, looked about the size of a bumblebee, that was getting nectar from one of the plants, very unsteady on its wings. But she said, "What on earth could that be?" We later did a little research and discovered that it was something called a bee hummingbird. The thing weighs less than a soda cracker, and it's less than 2 inches long, but it's a migratory bird. Spends its winters in Cuba and Panama, and then it migrates in the summer and spring up to Canada, across the ocean, across these United States into Canada, and then in the fall it reverses that trail and goes back to either Panama or Cuba. Can you imagine? Less than 2 inches long, less than a soda cracker in weight, and yet it takes that migratory trail just as long as it lives. I know that scientists will say, well, that's just instinct, instinct, instinct. I don't think so. If you say it's instinct, at some point you have to say that that little bird could think, and it thought, I think I will spend the winter in Panama or Cuba, and then I'll spend the summer in Canada. Little birds don't think. But God has placed within them that knowledge and that information that says to them, it's time to fly one way or the other. It's time to go either to Canada or it's time to go back to Cuba or Panama. God did that. There has to be a reason for it. You say it's instinct. Well, what's the source of the instinct? Call it whatever you want to. I'm simply going to call it God. And I think that my answer is a whole lot better than the scientist answer. God does it. He loves that little bee hummingbird. Thanks for watching Don Howell, today's Light and Love from Liberty.